Hey, welcome to another Smack Talk Wrestling Review. I am your host, Boise, and this is SmackDown Review. Before we get started, don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the notification to keep up to date with all these videos. What an episode we've got so far. We got 2 World Cup qualifying matches, we have Miz TV, and a Super Showdown rematch. With all that in mind, let's hit the music. So we kicked off the show with a match. That's right, we didn't get an opening segment. We got a bloody match, and it was the best match of the night. It was the rematch of Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair for the women's title. Now this had a bit of a twist. If Becky got herself disqualified, Becky would lose the title. Bit unfair, seeing as Charlotte, when she was a heel, got herself disqualified a few times, and no one put that stipulation on her. Interesting. But this was a very, very good match. At first it was a little bit sloppy, but it got better and better while the match got on. And it really evolves the storyline between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. This isn't just about the women's title anymore. This is about reputation. This is about a friendship in tatters. And it just felt like it. It felt personal, it felt emotional, and that's what you really want on a good story. This is showing to be the best story on SmackDown Live right now. The match itself ended in a double counter, which I think was fair. The only thing which I got a great about is when they tried to make Becky act a little bit more heel. I get it. Becky is now the heel in the story, but to the crowd she isn't a heel, so making her do a lot of heel tactics in this match really didn't settle too well with me. Becky can do a few things heelish, but not throughout the whole match, and that's what really kind of put me off. But apart from that, it was really good. The double count continues the storyline, which I like, and then afterwards when Becky's trying to get to the back, Charlotte Flair spears her through those big LCD boards. Brilliant. Charlotte's cut her arm. That's, hopefully she'll be alright. She did wrestle later on in the mixed match challenge and she seemed okay. But this was really well put together. A great start, continuous start. And afterwards, Paige announced that Charlotte and Becky will go at it one last time for the women's title in a first ever last woman standing. This is awesome. This is really evolved the story. Now keep these two away from each other until Evolution, and then we'll have the perfect story. Really enjoyed it. Great start to the show, guys. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. Next up, we got the first of 2 World Cup qualifying matches, and this was Jeff Hardy returning to SmackDown Live versus Samoa Joe, who has just recently come back from that awesome match between AJ Styles at Super Showdown in Australia. How was the match? Terrible. It was a waste of time, unfortunately, and this felt like it. Joe got his leg. As we know, his leg was injured during the AJ Styles match in Australia, and they used this in the storyline here. It just, again, a waste of time. Jeff went for the leg. Joe couldn't stand on it. The referee ended the match. But it's just a bit of a shame. These two they could have a really good match, but unfortunately, it just didn't happen. Samoa Joe, for me, the man who really did need a victory the most, kind of lost the match because of a referee and being injured. It just felt like a waste of time for both the superstars and the people watching it. Bit of a shame, really. I've got to give it a score, so unfortunately, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 10. Again, like I said, it was just a waste of time for everyone involved. Then we got an awesome Miz TV special where we had Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles as the special guests. And I really, really enjoyed this. This is just showing how good the Miz is. It's really kind of start building up the feud between AJ and Daniel Bryan, with these two having a lot of respect for each other. Daniel literally saying, AJ has the right to think he's better than me because he's held the title for so long and fought against so many of the best wrestlers that SmackDown has to offer, that he has everywhere. And actually, I thought that was a bit of respect, a bit stupid as well, but good to see two wrestlers who I think no one's really going to boo against one or the other. Let's be honest, this is why you have the Miz involved, and it really is showing. Miz just pretty much stating, look, doesn't matter out of you two idiots who's going to win, because I'm next. And the crowd really liked that. The crowd were really wanting, it seemed like that Miz was the one everyone really wanted to see have a title opportunity, and I totally agree with that. I think I really want to see the Miz hold the title one more time as WWE champion, because I think he is good enough now, better than what he was when he first held the WWE title. I think now he's a much better round. The only thing which really annoyed me with this whole segment was the 2-minute man remarks that AJ and Daniel started using against the Miz. That's fine. That's fine. If you want to use that, that is perfectly fine. But for me, it just felt it started wearing out and got old quickly. Then we also got a match after the Miz TV segment, which was really good as well, because it was Shelton Benjamin taking on AJ Styles. And Shelton Benjamin is underrated. This is just showing how good, Shelton Benjamin can really be. And for me, it was one of those matches where it's like, how is this guy in the mid card? He could so easily be aiming for a US title, or just below main event. Just below main event, Shelton Benjamin is easily at that level. Yet, it's only recently he's started being used properly, being used against Daniel Bryan, now AJ Styles. I want to see Shelton Benjamin, the Miz, teaming up to take on AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. It's most likely going to be this. For me, I'm going to give this a solid, with the match involved and the great Miz TV segment, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Next up, we had that one night in Milwaukee, the rest of the video, and I honestly didn't care. It was just like, time was running out. You could see that it was like 25 minutes left in the show, and you just felt like, yep, what are the writers going to do? They're going to get rid of this segment, thank God. And pretty much Lana and Rusev hacked Aiden English's password, which, by the way, is I heart Rusev. Of course you do. Who doesn't? Have you seen that sexy beast? Duh. But they showed the rest of the video. It looked like Aiden was trying to kiss Lana. Lana walked away, embarrassed, and that's probably why Aiden wants Lana away. He's felt embarrassed because he tried to put a move on Lana. Lana rejected him, obviously, because she's married to that sexual beast called Rusev. And that was pretty much it. Aiden just said, look, Rusev, let's still be partners. Rusev had none of that. And then he goes, well, Lana, well, if you change your mind with this brute, there's always me. And then Rusev chased him, ran away. Rusev had a bit of a scuffle. And then Aiden. Hopefully we can have a quick little rivalry between Aiden English and Rusev now involving actual wrestling instead of watching videos, which everyone knows is just paused out of Pacific Spot. I finally said it. Pacific Spot. And then we can actually enjoy Rusev challenging for titles like he deserves to be. So for me, it's finally over with this stupid one night thing. So I'm going to give this a solid, not a solid, a regular 5 out of 10. And this moves us on to our main event of the night, and it was Randy Orton versus The Big Show in a World Cup qualifying match. And my God, this was a very poor main event for SmackDown. I didn't really think this should have been. I think Charlotte and Becky should have had the main event spot. But seeing as a legend like The Big Show has returned to SmackDown, seeing as he was signed with Raw, disappeared for a year, I guess he's now a free agent. He's allowed to go on to any shows. Who knows? I don't understand how WWE do their logic when it comes to, legends who haven't been in the ring. It's like Nikki Bella. She was originally signed to SmackDown. She retired, apparently. And then now she's on Raw. And same with John Cena. He's now a free agent. I guess there's a few free agents now, like Nikki, John, Big Show. Who else wants to just jump around between shows? Who knows? But yeah, back to the match itself. it was sloppy. It was very, very, very much like these two didn't have the right chemistry, and that's a bit of a shame because these guys have had matches in the past where we've seen that they've got good chemistry, but this time it just felt like neither of them felt comfortable, especially the Big Show. He very much felt ring rusted, and that's a shame. That's a shame because he's in the best fitness he's been in years, and this time it just felt like Randy Orton was carrying the match a little bit for the Big Show. And Randy getting the victory makes sense. He's on a bit of a roll right now. And let's be honest, if it's going to be a World Cup of Wrestling, Randy Orton would be one of the guys you do expect WWE to put in this tournament. So, how am I going to score this? I'm going to just give it a simple 5 out of 10. Mainly because I was excited to see the Big Show back in action. Unfortunately, the match never lived up to what it could easily have been. So, you know, I have to compromise on the score. And there you go, guys. That was SmackDown Live for this week. How did I find it? It was a bit of a mixed bag. The first match of the night was absolutely brilliant and should have been the main event. And everything else kind of felt like it was just there. The only other thing which was great was Miz TV and AJ Styles match, which was all in one. And the only other great part was the announcement that Rey Mysterio will be on SmackDown 1000, and he will be taking on Shinsuke Nakamura for a place for SmackDown's place for the World Cup. Hell yeah. WWE also announced that Rey is back permanently. Now, I'm hoping Rey's not a free agent and he can be put on SmackDown Live permanently. This is my own beliefs because he is part of the SmackDown 6. He's part of the SmackDown 6. He deserves to be on SmackDown. And let's be honest, who doesn't want to see AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio? AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan. Who does not want to see that? I want to see that. WWE make that happen. Or Rey Mysterio versus The Miz. I want to see that as well. I want to see that. Rey Mysterio versus Randy Orton. Rey Mysterio versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Rey Mysterio versus Andrade Cien Almas. I want to see all those matches. That's where I want to see it. But how was... sorry, I went on a bit of a rant there, didn't I? Apart from that, how was SmackDown? Like I said, a bit of a mixed bag. So I'm only going to give this week's episode a 7 out of 10 because the first match of the night was really good. The AJ Styles and Miz bits were good as well. And everything else, again, like I said, was just there. So, there you go, guys. What was your favourite part of SmackDown Live? Leave it in the comments below. And if you do like our videos, please like, subscribe, and press the notification so you can keep up to date. I don't know why I'm doing this with my hands. Keep up to date with all our videos. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do it. It's at SmackTalk YouTube. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at Boise88. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'll see you guys next time on SmackTalk Wrestling Reviews.